Hello guys, welcome back to Biscuits Total War. Today we've got a blast from the past. We have got a submitted replay from our good friend Tut of the IBEROS clan, and he sent this replay through to myself the other day, and it's been really interesting to check it out because I primarily didn't take part in this battle, so it's always really cool to check out these replays. So if you've got something really cool, really good replay that you want me to put up on my channel, let me know. We'll get in contact with one another, and hopefully we can do exactly what I'm doing to Tut's video to what I'm going to do to your video. So let's have a look to see what we have got. We have got 3 versus 3, 31k online rules, and we've got some great clan players playing today. We've got Phlegethon of the COH clan, we have got Tut, who I've just mentioned, of the IBEROS clan, and we've got Hades of the Titans clan. Let's pause this for just 2 seconds, just want to go and outline the battles, so the units. If we have a look at Phlegethon, he has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Praetorian Cav, 1 Legendary first cohort, I believe. Yep, and then the rest urban cohorts. If we have a quick little glance at Tut, he's brought the Egyptians. Now the Egyptians are a rare faction to see online, especially for 31k, because they're primarily just an infantry. That infantry sucks. Sorry, they're primarily just missile archers and chariots. That's basically all you get with Egypt on a high money level game. So he's got 5 chariots, they're pretty much maxed out. He's probably got about 10 bowmen, again probably gold or near enough maxed out, and then 4 of these little pharaohs pikemen. These guys aren't any great, they've got some armor as you can see, but no shields, so nothing to shout about. And then he's got 1 chariot horse archer, which would be good to skirmish against the enemy. Hades has gone for an infantry primarily build. He's got 3 cav that you can just see in the background there, 1 legionary first cohort, and then the rest urban cohorts, so lots and lots of infantry. Let's have a glance to see who they're going up against. Well, they're going up against 3 Heaven members of the Heaven clan from Rome Total War. We have got, last but not least, a GREKO, who was with us but he's now left. Mohamed, who was with us but he's now left. But AdmiralDoucheBag is still with us, and he's with the Heaven clan. So let's have a quick glance at their armies. They have gone for 2 archers, 1 legionary first cohort, 4 cav, or maybe even 5 cav really, and then the rest urbans. Let's have a little glance at Mohamed. He has got 14 Spartans, 3 Cretan archers, 3 Balearic slingers. Those slingers have been brought to basically nullify or neutralize those chariots which are over there. And then let's have a look at GREKO. He's got 5 cav, 2 archers, and then the rest urban cohorts. So let's put this onto double speed. Let's see what the opening gambits are, and let's see what happens in this battle. So each army, each side there, they've basically brought a decent side build. They're all trying to outmaneuver, basically outbuild one another, if that is such a word or terminology to use in a Rome Total War. The builds that they've bought, they've tried to counter one another. So in comes Tut. He's going to bring in his chariot archers, it looks like. He's probably going to swing them around the side and try and get off a couple of little shots on the flanks of these urbans. But Mohamed's seen this, so what he's going to do is going to bring out his slingers. I think the slingers and the chariot archers have got the same range, so he should be able to nullify them. He can just basically stick them there. If these chariots get too close, he should be able to shoot them down with these slingers. And in the meantime, if we have a little look over here, we can see Hades, his cav is right to this flank. So it looks like they're going to try and encircle the enemy here. They're going to try and get their cav around this side. And now you can see Tut, he's bringing his chariots around. So they're trying to outflank. They're going to try and almost envelop their position. And the Heaven members, they're playing quite static at the moment. They're standing still. They're giving their their opponents, the initiative to try and outmaneuver them. But we can see they're just out of range of these slingers. These guys are just going to wait here. They don't want to get too close. If they get too close, these slingers will be able to mow them down. The reason why slingers are really good against chariots, or especially any skirmish units like this that go in a constabulary circle, is that the slinger shots fire horizontally right across the ground, and then the archers fire in a bow shape. So basically there's no way to avoid the slingers because they're going to be shooting in a nice horizontal lines, and they should be able to absolutely mow down any chariots or any units that go into a constabulary circle. So as you can see, they're in a nice little defensive shape. Let's see what's going to happen here. Looks like the archer duel is going to start. Now, this side, Tut sides do have the upper advantage with their archers, in that they've got 10 archers opposed to these guys who have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archers. They have got 3 slingers, but the archers should be able to beat slingers in a 1-to-1 fight. So here we go. Tut's sending out his guys. He hasn't got any units to act as any screen against any arrow damage, and he's going to start firing his shots. So as you can see, they're loosing, they're firing their shots straight into these Cretan archers, and these Cretan archers are supported by these urbans. You can see Mohamed's going to slowly bring these guys forward and try and intertwine them within these urbans, because once he's done that, he's going to give his guys a nice little bonus with defense, and they should be able to take down these archers. Now, what Tut's done, he has got 4 of his archers in reserve here. What he's trying to do is trying to get all of these archers to expend all of their arrows upon these 1, 2, 3 units. If he can do that, if he can get these guys to waste all their arrows and shoot all of their archers into these guys, then potentially towards the end of the game, he should be able to bring in these archers, and these archers will be uncontested because there won't be any opposition arrow fire to shoot them down. So you can see they're still shooting away. Really what a Phlegethon should do is push forward and again do exactly what the Heaven members are doing, and intertwine those urbans within those archers to make sure that those archers stand their ground, they don't get shot down to bits. They are down to 53, these guys are down to 77, and these guys are down to 59. If we look at the opposition, they're down to 57, down to 42 and 78. So I'd say it's slightly on the favour of the Heaven side at the moment. Let's have a little glance at these guys. They're down to 74, so the numbers are fairly intact. And again, as you can see, Douchebag or AdmiralDoucheBag, sorry Admiral, if you move your guys forward, you should be able to support his archers a bit better there. So a bit of a micromanagement blunder there, but only a small error at the end of the day. Nothing too harmful at the end of the day. Let's have a look at what Hades is up to. Hades, you can see, slowly bringing his cover around the sides. He's probably going to try and edge them around here. I think what AdmiralDoucheBag has done, he's got one of his cav units hidden in the marshy area, as you can just about see here. But as you can see, it's still going to be the arrow fire. It's still going to be a duel going on, just trying to nullify the archers, trying to take them down. Now Phlegethon's done what he should have done earlier on. He's now moved his urbans forward to support his ally there. You should really move them a bit closer, maybe even trying to save these guys at the end of the day. They're only down to 16, these guys down to 61, and these guys down to 57. Let's have a look again at what's happening here. These guys are down to 55, these guys are down to 76. The Cretan archers look like they've actually all been killed. Nope, they're down to 13, so there's a few men left. They're doing okay at the moment. Again, these chariots around the side here, they still haven't been used at the moment. Potentially what you might want to look at doing is moving his archers, his chariot archers over here, and really trying to shoot the sides of these urbans, because these urbans, the shields are on the other side, and they're going to be vulnerable, especially to the back, but to their right hand side they're also going to be vulnerable because you don't have a shield bonus because the shield's on their left hand side. Let's have a look to see what Hades is doing now. So Hades has charged in one of his cav units to try and attack one of these archers. The archers haven't moved out the way, so they haven't got a skirmish mode on. But what has happened is that when the cav units did come in here, you may have just seen it. AdmiralDoucheBag did throw away a couple of volleys of peeler, and I think he only managed to kill about 2 cav units. And this cav is fairly intact, and that cav is definitely intact. So it's a nice little maneuver there. They're just trying to skirmish, trying to find any weak spots in the enemy. And it looks like Tut is going to try and do exactly the same on this side with his chariot archers. He's moving his guys further around the side here. These guys are coming in closer. And these guys, They're unhappy because they're taking casualties, but they're not worried too much about these chariots at the moment. In comes a chariot now. Just going to try and shoot this unit and then quickly pull out. But what has happened is this chariot archer has got way too close now. He's now got into range of these slingers, and these slingers are going to gun down this chariot archer now. Let's have a look to see what's going to happen. They're down to 54. I haven't lost any men yet, but any time now they're going to start to drop like flies, I reckon. Let's have a look. 54, 51, 48, and there's nothing they can really do. They can go around in a circle, a constabulary circle, but these slingers are going to gun them down. These cav units are right behind these slingers to make sure they're nice and protected. Let's have a look. These guys are now down to 39, so they're going to be out of the game anytime soon. In the meantime, it looks like the Peeler duel's now started. Let's have a look here. So we've got GREKO is throwing his guys into these units here, and then Phlegethon's going to play quite defensively. Oh, let's have a look here. Hades is now sending in his guys. It looks like this is going to be a bit of a blunder. He's going to chuck his Peeler. He's trying to shoot these Spartans. These Spartans have got 2 hit points, so they're going to be pretty good against Peeler. He's trying to micromanage them and get them to throw probably not into the loose formation unit, but into the thicker unit. So he's doing a good job there, but he's done very little damage. But what has happened is he's micromanaged his troops, but he's done it incorrectly. He's tried to micromanage his Peeler, but Mohamed has managed to catch his guys just out of formation. And now Hades is throwing some more volleys of Peeler into the backs of these guys. And it looks like some of these guys down to 75, some of them down to 79. But at the end of the day, a full unit has got 80 guys in. So Mohamed hasn't done too bad there at all. But I'll tell you who has done bad. Tut. He's lost pretty much nearly all of his chariot archers. The whole unit is practically gone, being shot to bits by these slingers. So a nice little manoeuvre there by Mohamed. He's managed to finally take them out. That guy's still spinning around in circles. In the meantime, these guys are going to be trying to mow down these testudo units. Let's put it into normal speed now. Let's see what's going on. So again, the arrow fire is still going on at the moment. Looks like Hades has managed to get his cav caught up by AdmiralDoucheBag. Douchebag has managed to take down his cav units. So now it looks like Heaven is now taking the advantage at the moment. They've managed to take out that chariot archer, but it looks like all of these chariots are still intact. All of these chariots are going to be really deadly against taking on these units here. So Phlegethon's playing quite defensively at the moment. He's going to be chucking his Peeler. As you can see, he's chucking his Peeler into these guys, and GREKO's now put his guys into testudo units. So it's fairly rigid at the moment. Both sides aren't really advancing anywhere at the moment. Over here, again, Mohamed's intertwined his units within these urbans, and these guys definitely have got the infantry advantage. Both GREKO, AdmiralDoucheBag, Mohamed, if we look at the infantry, they're well and truly miles ahead of the opposition. But what the opposition here have got with Tut, they definitely have got the cav advantage. What they need to try and do is try and take out all of these slingers and take out all of these archers. Once they've done that, then they can bring around these chariots and try and encircle these guys. But what's going to happen now, well, what I hope is going to happen, is that the Heaven members are going to play aggressively and try and push forward, because they don't want to lose the archer fight. They want to press forward and get the initiative to try and take out the infantry. What I'm going to try and do at some stage is take a little photo, probably for my thumbnail. So do excuse me if I do start taking photos. You'll hear a little cheesy sound going on. So here we go. Douchebag is going to send in his guys. Hades is going to chuck in a few more volleys of Peeler. He's going to try and gun down these guys as best as he possibly can. These guys are down to 62. These guys are still fairly intact at 80. And now he's going to bring in his legendary thrust cohort. These guys got 100 men in, so they're going to be really good at absorbing Peeler. But if you have a look here, he wants to try and micromanage his Peeler. He doesn't want to chuck them into these units here that Tut's got, because these guys are expendable. These guys are pretty weak. And at the end of the day, they're going to be great as a peeler screen. And that's exactly what Hades is using them as at the moment. So really well played here. In comes GREKO now. He's going to play a bit more aggressively. Mohamed, as you can see, this game is a fairly old replay. Mohamed used to be in the Heaven clan. That's where he first started off. He's now with the Titans clan. But what you should really do, and I'm sure this is what he would do now, is he should aggressively push forward. He should be able to use his guys to really mow down these infantry units with his Spartans. These Spartans are probably gold, I'm guessing, if not gold attack. Have a quick little glance at the stats. But they should really be able to push forward because his guys will easily mow down all of these urbans. So that's exactly what's happened here now. He's moved in his Spartans. He's going to drop down his pikes. Now what will happen is that GREKO's units are starting to rout because GREKO's units are actually in front of these Spartans. And they've got all of this peeler which is now going straight into these guys. And also if you have a look here, Phlegethon's managed to wrap around the side here. So even though that the Phlegethon's got the Brutii and the Spartans have got the upper hand, you can see Phlegethon's managed to outmaneuver the enemy here. He's managed to get his guys around the side, and because he's doing that, that's going to drop the morale to these guys, and therefore a couple of these units start to rout. So that unit started to rout there. This unit's going to probably start to rout anytime soon. We've got a legionary thrust cohort which is going to be boosting the morale to all of these Julii troops. And you can see here, look, in comes Tut. He's lost all of his arrows now, but he's using his guys in a single hand combat. He's managed to rout one of these Brutii units. And what he should now do is get these guys and attack the back here, which he's going to do now. So they're wrapping up this flank here. They're doing really, really well here. In the meantime, Tut's brought around his chariots, and he's going to use these chariots to hopefully try and scare back these guys. Mohamed's seen this, the Spartans have seen this, and now he's going to pull back these Spartans and try and push back these chariots. The minute these chariots engage the back of these units, it's going to cause all these Brutii units to rout. In comes Phlegethon. As you can see, he's trying to get his chariots, his Praetorian cavalry around the side here. He's going to try and charge right around the back here and try and take out as many of these Julii Brutii units as he can. Phlegethon, now GREKO's seen this, and what he's doing here is just waiting, standing his ground, and he's going to try and get a counter charge probably. The minute the Julii try and charge in here, he's going to do a counter charge. But whilst he's doing this, as you can see here, Tut's now got his spare archers back into the game now, and he's just gunning down these guys. These guys are panicked by fire. They're down to 41, down to 39. So what's going to happen now is that Mohamed's now going to chuck in his Spartans. As these Brutii cav is now turned around, Phlegethon's going to go in for a charge here. He's going to try and get the back to these Spartans. He's going to try and take out this general unit. The general unit, purely down to miracle, is still intact. I don't know how he's managing to stand still here. He's only down to down to about 4 or 5 men, 17 men left in that unit. So Mohamed is playing exceptionally well at the moment. He's trying to fend off all of these chariots at the moment, and these chariots is basically trying to take down all of these slingers at the moment. But what you should do with these chariots, you should now send them into the back of these guys here. You should try and just basically plonk them right in the back here, because these guys are going to be scared of the chariots. Their morale is going to drop. Hades is now coming around the side here, so Hades is doing a really, really good move here. He's going to try and sneak into the side here. So although Heaven did have the infantry advantage, I say they're playing quite statically, they're playing quite defensively, and Hades and Phlegethon are doing really, really well here. They're trying to come around the flanks here, they're trying to get their chariots, they're trying to get their cav around the side and do as much damage as possible. Let's have a look here. Oh, really nice move here by AdmiralDoucheBag. He's managed to get his cav, and he's chasing back these archers. What Tut should do is basically get these guys into alt attack, and I'm sure these archers should be able to take down these Praetorian cav. Let's have a look here. Oh, over here it looks like Phlegethon's now finally managed to finish off GREKO's general. GREKO has just only got his cav units left over, and over here Tut still hasn't really used his chariots to full advantage at the moment. They're running around the side at the moment, but what he should really do is use them more aggressively. He needs to try and get them over to this flank and help out his ally here, help out Phlegethon, take out GREKO's cav. GREKO's going to come in with a charge now. He's going to drop down into ult attack hopefully. Bit too late now. Phlegethon's now managed to do an ult attack, and in comes the chariot. These chariots plus Phlegethon's Praetorian cav are going to rout GREKO's guys. So let's have a look. In come the chariots. They're chasing them down. These guys are scared. They're running away. They're trying to get out of there, and they're just chasing them down. But what has happened, thanks to the computer telling me, it looks like now the Egyptians have lost their general. That's because the general was in one of these pike units. But here we go. It looks like Phlegethon and Tut have now managed to wrap up that flank. What they need to do is get their guys around the back, forget about these Spartans, and let's go for these guys here and try and take out these Brutii units here. So let's have a look what's going on. Chariots are coming around the side, they're coming around the back with these. Oh no, Hades has now lost his general. So this is going to be really close. It's basically, it summons it down to the Spartans versus the reminiscence, the kind of dregs of AdmiralDoucheBag. AdmiralDoucheBag's just got his guys into Studo, and it's going to be a really tight one here. Unfortunately, Hades' infantry hasn't been able to hold out. His guys are now started to rout. The only thing that's left now is these Phlegethon's cav units, and then these chariots. But these chariots and these cav units are not going to be able to gun down these Spartans, because these Spartans, they're still fairly intact. They're down to 69, 63, 70, and their general is still intact. So although GREKO's now left, and although Hades is now beaten the dust, it's really going to be a case of if these guys can try and outmaneuver and try and take out the rest of these Brutii units. In comes Phlegethon. He's going to charge into this guy here as best as he possibly can. Mohamed's now going to see that. He's now going to chuck in his Spartans. What the Julii needs to do is get his guys out there as soon as possible. They don't want to get themselves caught up on these Spartans. The minute they get caught up on these Spartans, they're going to start to rout. And there we go. You can see the Spartans have now finally caught up with him. GREKO's cav is now caught up with him, and that's going to cause these Julii units then now to panic and to rout. And over here you can see, looks like Tut's still got his chariots. They're going to do a bit of damage, but they're not going to be able to do enough damage. Phlegethon's now going to lose his Julii units. His general is now going to rout anytime now. As you can see, got overwhelming numbers left to the right to them. And there we go. That's pretty much it. GREKO's throwing in the towel. Good game to GREKO, but unfortunately he has been beaten there. So it's only just down to Tut. It is Tut versus these Spartans, but there's no way that Tut can win this. He has got archers here, but as much as he wants to be able to out-skirmish these guys, they finally ran out of ammunition. These guys have got a few more bows left. They're probably going to try and get a few more kills, but there's no way that these archers are going to be able to gun down all of these guys. So I think let's put this onto double speed and let's just finish this game here. So really well played to the opposition there, really well played to the Heaven guys, and well played to Tut, well played to Hades, and well played to Phlegethon. Hope you guys really enjoyed this replay. Again, if you like this type of submitted replay, it's been a while since I've done one of these on my channel, but if you enjoy it, let me know. Leave a little comment, leave a little like, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. And if you like these Rome Total War videos, feel free to check out some of my earlier videos. The whole channel is pretty much dedicated to Rome Total War. Let's have a little glance at the kill count. If we have a look at Phlegethon, he's done really well there, nearly 1400 kills. IBEROS, Tut, and Titans, Hades, nearly 1200 kills. And if you have a look at Mohamed, nearly 1600 kills, AdmiralDoucheBag 1300 kills, and GREKO about 1000 kills. So it's really close game. It really could have gone either way there. Unfortunately, it's just basically down to the infantry at the end of the day. The Heaven guys had more infantry and they were able to use the Spartans. The Spartans are able to hold their ground and effectively bring home that victory. So all the best, guys. Thanks for watching once again, and I'll catch you guys soon for the next Rome Total War online battle. Bye now.